Hi, friends. It's Angela with Wildvioletsart. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So, hopefully, we can get some of you online. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you some really beautiful product that's in the mini catalog that goes from January till June, or sorry, till the end of April. So, if you want to take a few minutes with me, I'd like to show you that. And then also, I'm going to show you some free product from Celebration that is only good until the 28th of this month. So you want to make sure that you don't miss out. So let's get started. Okay. Um, Here we go. All right, so this is the mini catalog, and just in case you were wondering what some of the really pretty images were from the front of this catalog, they actually come from this Fancy Flora suite. And I've been playing with this suite, and I have to tell you, I'm so in love. I love the laser cut look that this die produces. And this is some of the shimmer paper that comes with it that's right behind it. So isn't that pretty? So I just used the die to actually cut the front of my card. So pretty. And then I just put some of the shimmer paper on the envelope flap. Isn't that pretty? And then this one, the same thing, but I added a little extra by adding some of the stamped images. I did add some stamped images to this one. I did them in the gray, and when you do a really light gray, it looks like white flowers. So pretty. Okay, so this one here, again, it's got the shimmer paper behind. So gorgeous. So the colors that are in the shimmer paper are actually, they're the soft succulent fresh freesia. It says gold, but it's actually looks like the pale papaya. So, and just so you know, the in colors that are in this suite are the soft succulent and the fresh freesia, but those colors are going to be retiring at the end of March when we get our new catalog in April. So keep that in mind. Our current catalog goes till the end of April. So the beginning of May is the new catalog. So you're going to want to get your refill of your stamp pad and any cardstock before then as well. So here's a couple more cards. So this one, really pretty. It's got the cane weave 3D folder in the background and more stamped flowers. And then again, I put more of that shimmer paper on the envelope flat. And this is soft succulent. Isn't that pretty? And then this is Calypso Coral, and I just stamped it off so it's really pale. Gives it a kind of a peachy look. It's really beautiful. And then this one I had on my blog post today. So I put a link to my blog. If you go to my blog and go to projects, you'll see that I gave a description of how to put this card together. And this is using the Fancy Flora Designer Series paper. I did this in this die cut on vellum and then layered it on the Pretty Flowers 3D embossing folder paper, and it just gave it this really beautiful 3D lacy look. And then of course I stamped some of the little flowers on here, and this is all in Pool Party. Isn't that pretty? So these aren't the cards that we're going to make in my card club, but you can tell that this suite is just so gorgeous. So hopefully you'll get a chance to take a look at that. Sign up for my card club by the 15th of the month. So it'll be the 15th of March. And I'd love to have you join me. Okay, so Celebration Catalog, we've gone through a number of items. And this month, or this week, I wanted to show you the Beautifully Happy stamp set. Now this is free with a $100 purchase. And whenever you get a catalog, there's so many great examples in the catalog that you can use and refer to. I've kept every catalog that I've ever gotten from Stampin' Up! Because you never know when you want to go back and just look at the inspiration. And even if you don't have that stamp set, you can still make a layout very similar to it using other product. So they always have lots of beautiful inspiration. Okay, so this is the Beautifully Happy stamp set. And as you can tell, it's got great sentiments. So it's got 6 really great sentiments: feeling better, sending happy thoughts for a very happy birthday, kindness matters, thank you, and you are easy to love. So just really beautiful. And this is a 2-step stamping. And they've separated out the leaves that get stamped over the top of this, and the flowers, and the little buds, so that you can do them in individual colors. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so we're going to make this card, and I'm just going to show you how to do it. And you can actually do it 2 different ways. And then I stepped it up and I put it on a layer. So you can see it's pretty much the same. I didn't have the bee and I didn't put the little sparkle or sprinkles. This one is stepped up a little bit more, and it's got 3D. So I stamped them again, cut them out, and then layered them on it. So you can see that it just adds a little bit 3D dimension to it. And then of course this one is got the scallop layers, and it's got a beautiful oval frame. And then again, I did more of the flowers 3D, popped up the sentiment. So it's really a beautiful stamp set. Okay. All right, so we're just going to use half of it, 8.5 by 11. 2 of them together makes 8.5 by 11 sheet. So I just score it in half at 5.5, or cut it in half, and then I'm going to fold it over, match up my corners, and then use my bone folder. And we'll do that to both of them so that we have the second one ready, because we're going to do this 2 different ways. Okay. So normally this is 1 stamp. So this has the flower and the leaves and the little buds all together. So I'm going to stamp this in Soft Succulent. And I'm going to stamp my image in the middle of my card. Okay, so now we have the outline of where everything goes. And this is Soft Succulent. Again, it's one of the colors that's going to retire at the end of April. And then, whoops, I need to use it again. So now the other stamps that are available are the ones that stamp the leaves. And so once you get your ink on there, then you can line it up with your image. And there you go. Now I just need the buds. Not pretty? Okay. And then I'm going to use Polished Pink. And this is another one of the in colors from 2020 to 2021 to 2023. And now I'm going to line up these flowers with the image. And then we'll put a little verse. And then I'm going to use the Pale Papaya for the middle of the flower. They give you this little tiny circle. And then there's a little bumblebee. And I'm going to do that bumblebee in pale papaya as well. And pale papaya is also one of the colors that is retiring. And then there's these little sprinkles that just kind of add an element to the card, and I'm stamping it off before I stamp it on. And it just adds a little something to the card. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to stamp this image if you don't want green where the petals are. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the Stampin' Write markers. And again, these are in colors, so these are going to retire at the end of April as well. So we're going to do this card again, but we're going to color up, and there's two ends to the Stampin' Write marker. So there's an end that you can write with or get really small details, and then there's a paintbrush end. So I'm going to use the paintbrush end, and if you go by this as a guide, you'll know that there's the bottoms of the flowers and the little buds, the leaves, and I'm just rubbing the side of this over. There's a little kitty hair. And the stem, of course. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to color the petals in pink and the buds as well. So all the flowers, I want those outlines to be done in pink so that when I stamp the pink, it doesn't show up as green. Okay. So when you've colored it with markers, you're going to probably need to breathe on it. And they call this the Darth Vader effect. And it just kind of dampens up the ink again. And this will just give me the outline of where everything is supposed to go. So it's not very dark, but that's okay because the leaves are. So now we're going to line this up. Make sure that it lines up in all the right places. Okay, now we'll do the buds. Okay, and then we do the petals. And then I can add the little sprinkles. And then add the little bumblebee. And add the little flower center. So you can see side by side, and then I need to add the little verse. So what do you think? Do you like this one or that one? Aren't they pretty? And just super simple and only takes a second, as you can see. So I hope you've enjoyed this instruction. Just another simple stamping. But I didn't want you to miss out on the fabulous celebration items. And So let me just show you the rest of the cards again after I close out all these stamp pads. So pale papaya, polished pink, soft succulent, evening evergreen, and fresh freesia are all the colors that are going to be retiring here shortly. So these are just stepped up versions of this. But give it a try. Use markers when you don't want your image to be all one color. Like, I don't necessarily like to do black for that reason. And I think the markers are the best way to get that really pretty continuous look. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. And I hope you have a great week. And we'll talk soon.